for our constituents. If we need to test the idea out to do it first, we'll test the idea out. So again, it's exciting because when I started our pilot in Stockton 4 years ago, we were the only ones. And people thought we were crazy. People thought it was some plot to get rid of jobs or some plot to change our governing structure. But what it really was a plot, if you will, to elevate the cause of universal basic human dignity. It was a plot to really illustrate the ways in which the economy doesn't work. And it was a plot to also show these lies we hold about why people are struggling just are that, in fact, that they're lies. In March, we announced our findings from our pilot, and we saw that, number one, people who were given $500 a month for 24 months in Stockton spent most of the money on necessities. They spent the money how you and I spend money because of people like you and me. Number two, people with the $500 didn't stop working. In fact, they were more likely to find full-time work because they had the economic cushion to bet on themselves, to fix their car, to pay for childcare. And then number three, we saw that it also had health impact, that those who received the $500 were less likely to be stressed, less likely to be anxious, less likely to be depressed than they were before, and in fact comparable in many respects to clinical trials of Prozac, which doesn't mean that medicine isn't important, but does mean that economic insecurity is not only expensive for this country, but it's also expensive in terms of the health impact. So again, as the founder of Mayors for a Guaranteed Income, a coalition of 45 mayors, I think, throughout this country, I am so excited and proud to have my friend, your mayor, be one in the number. I remember meeting him at the Bloomberg Harvard School and being really impressed with his passion, with his commitment, and with his tenacity. I think we see that on display today in the fact that this pilot is being announced, that the pilot will be happening, and will be happening in a way that elevates, again, the dignity of all residents and constituents of the great city. So again, congratulations. This is about sort of extending the legacy of folks like Thomas Paine and Dr. King, and really ensuring that at our best, government officials and governments trust our citizens. We trust our people with the agency and with the ability to make good decisions, and to really illustrate that the issue isn't that people aren't working. The issue is that the economy isn't working. The issue isn't that people don't want to work. The issue is that it's very expensive to be economically insecure in this country. And a guaranteed income, it provides a path and a way to deal with many of those concerns. So I'm looking forward to seeing the results of the trial. And again, I applaud the leadership of your elected officials and look forward to elevating the stories that come out of this great city.
Thank you, Mayor, and we appreciate the fact that you have served as an inspiration, and we're going to follow your lead as the founder of the Mayors for a Guaranteed Income Initiative. And in Paterson, this is how it's going to work. You have to be a resident, you have to be 18 years old, and outside of that, there are other requirements relative to income. If you make $30,000 as a single individual or less, you qualify. If you make $88,000 or less as a family, which means a spouse, you qualify as well. And I want to emphasize the fact that individuals will be randomly selected through a lottery-based system. The University of Pennsylvania has a guaranteed income center, and so 110 Paterson residents will be selected to participate in the program to receive $400 a month over the course of a year. So this is a pilot program that we're hoping to build on. And I've seen the success stories, or I've heard the success stories that Harsh has shared with me in Stockton. There's a story of a young man who had multiple jobs and didn't have time to focus on just one potential career opportunity. So he participated in the program and went to the community college as a result, and now he only has one job. He's gainfully employed and he can just focus on that career. Then there's also the story of the matriarch of a family, and all she ever wanted to do was host a Thanksgiving dinner for her entire family. And she was precluded by the fact that she had economic constraints. She participates in the program, and a few years ago, for the first time ever, her whole family was over for Thanksgiving. And there's always been concerns that people will not spend the money on the appropriate items. There's data that shows 40% of the money that was spent in Stockton was on groceries. And then people are spending on medicine, clothing, reducing debt. And what I've often said is that there are some people out there that are a flat tire away from financial hardship. So this could help. And people are paying for school supplies, As you saw, the young man put his money towards community college. So this is a program that is working. People can dismiss it quickly, Pastor, but we know it's working because it worked in Stockton, and we're going to make it work here in the city of Paterson, because people could quickly be derisive and dismissive and say that individuals that participate in the program are going to spend it on cigarettes and alcohol, but we're seeing the opposite occur. And so that's why we have a united front here, and Harsh has created a task force, and Pastor McWilliams, who's been advocating for this for as long as I've known him, and then you have a champion in our vice president who has sponsored the resolution to make this happen. So we appreciate the fact that Paterson is united in our efforts to make this possible in our city. So at this time, I'm going to call forward the sponsor of the resolution, Vice President Dr. Lalisa Mims.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor. To Mayor Tubbs and to this great team, our administration, Pastor McWilliams, and to so many that have come forward. The number that comes to mind is $580,000. There will be 110 people or family members that will get $400 for 12 months. That's $580,000. When the mayor texts me, because normally in the morning I'm doing virtual learning with my son, I said, let me do a little creative math and identify what the number was at $580,000. But when I think of the pandemic and all of the problems that we've been faced with, one of the things that is best known about Paterson, we're the bounce back city. So when faced with problems, we know through resiliency and through character and strength, we fight problems with solutions. I want to thank the mayor and to this administration for this great solution through $580,000 that 110 families will be able to eat, to sleep, and to get a little rest. Thank you so much. God bless you, and God bless the great city of Paterson. So there will be... Well, not out of a hat. Not out of a hat. There is a University of Penn will be doing a lottery system where the names, they'll go through, and I guess they'll be scrubbed as well to identify to make sure they meet the eligibility requirements. And then they'll make sure that we have those individuals listed, and then they will select them through the criteria process. So I believe it's a fair and equitable process that will allow the residents of the great city of Paterson to get some level of relief. We just got the relief package, so now we have the rescue package. That's what I'm calling this, a rescue package for 110 families. Thank you so much. Well, it's approximately 146,000. Remember this from election. 199. They're not all eligible. So we know the unemployment rate is very high in Paterson. So if we can even penetrate that over 30% of unemployment rate in the city of Paterson, we've done our due diligence. So I'm just grateful to sponsor and to definitely support and approve this great item. Thank you so much. God bless the city of Paterson.
And Danny, to elaborate, so we're also announcing today when the applications will be available. So they will be available starting April 12th through April 30th. So it's a 2-week window where individuals who are eligible will have those applications available to them. And like I stated before, income plays a big role as far as eligibility is concerned. So it's hard to quantify. So if you make $30,000 or less, you're single, you're eligible. You make $88,000, you're in a family, you're eligible. And then you're randomly selected through a lottery-based system. As Dr. Mims said, University of Pennsylvania has a guaranteed income center, and they will choose these 110 people. So it doesn't come out of her office, nor does it come out of my office. And if you're not chosen, don't get mad at her and don't get mad at me, because we didn't have anything to do with that part. All we're doing is we're encouraging you to go to our website, patersonnj.gov, and you'll find it's patersonnj.gov/guaranteed income, and you can apply. Did I get that right, Ryan? I'm so proud of myself, Ryan. Okay, you're going to come up next. You're going to come up next. Hold on. Don't ruin the... So as far as the application is concerned, if you qualify, we encourage you, strongly urge you to apply for this program. Malajasila, I think that's the closest I've ever come to pronouncing that properly. And he has been literally laboring in the vineyard on this project. So thank you, Chief Data Officer. Harsha, please come forward. And he's going to introduce our task force members too.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Councilwoman Mims. And thank you for everyone who are here to join us today. So I'm just going to quickly talk about the process that went into making sure that this program works for all of us. In September 2020, we joined the network of mayors advocating for guaranteed income. The mayor asked me to spearhead this process. We had like 20 community leaders and members be part of our task force. Some of them are here today. Pastor McWilliams, David Kim from St. Joe's Hospital, and Dassel Tilos, who also works for the mayor's office. We participated in a 7-week sprint led by Bloomberg Philanthropies, as well as Mayor Tubbs' team in Stockton. We learned best practices as to how we can bring this pilot to Paterson. Our task force continues to meet every other week from September, and we will continue to meet every other week until the program comes to completion. We've had focus groups with around 60 nonprofit members in our community to get feedback about the program. And last month and this month, we are engaging with our community in virtual town halls so that we can provide more information. As the mayor has mentioned, the application is going to go online on our website on the 12th of April. There is a 3-week window period for our residents to apply. We will be working with all of our council members as well as our social media and our community partners to get the word out so that all of our residents who are eligible have the chance to apply. And then 110 participants will be selected through a lottery. That is the responsibility of the University of Pennsylvania. And we have like a couple of partnerships that I wanted to highlight. We are the first city in the network of 40 cities that is partnering with our local food bank, QMAC. One of the statistics that jumped at us was that 40% of the monies that individuals received in Stockton was spent towards groceries. So our participants will be eligible to get free produce, dairy, milk from QMAC. And we want to see if they're able to also get free groceries from QMAC if they choose to, if that'll like boost up their savings rate. We are also launching our Financial Empowerment Center, so our participants will be also eligible to get a one-on-one financial counseling if they choose to, given that they are now getting an additional income of $400 a month for the period of the next 12 months. That is all I have to say at this time, but like I also want to like bring on some of our task force members who can share their experience, what it was like for them to be part of this task force. First, I'd like to like call upon Pastor McWilliams and then David Kim from St. Joe's. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Are we in afternoon yet? Good morning. On our way to afternoon, thank the mayor, thank our councilwoman, thank Brother Harsha, thank the task force for putting this together, this guaranteed income pilot for the city of Paterson. It is something that I know I personally, along with some other pastors, have brought to the attention of the mayor, and we've bugged him and been in his ear for a while to do this, and I'm glad to be part of the task force that puts together this comprehensive program, not just giving money, but also offering financial literacy and other options to make available to our 110 families that will benefit from this pilot. And I look at this as a very important first step in the fight for equitable income. I look at this as a very important first step as we look at how the distribution of wealth, not only in this city, in this state, but in this nation, how it takes place. And I look at this as a part of the fight of what Dr. King was fighting for in his last days, an effort of the Poor People's Campaign. So I look at this as a step in that direction to really address a lot of the disparities that, as the mayor mentioned earlier, a lot of the disparities that COVID helped highlight, but COVID did not start or initiate. So we are hoping that this is a first step, and in this pilot, we pray that it will yield results that will show us why this pilot is so important and needs to extend to all of the residents of Paterson. This is my hope, and I hope this is something that will be a reality for the city. I'm grateful to be part of this great task force that put together the nuts and bolts of this thing, and they really put together all the nuts and bolts. I just helped screw it in a little bit, but I thank God to be part of a team that is really working towards addressing some of the economic inequities that we see not only in this city, but we pray this city, just like Mayor Tubbs was an inspiration for us, we pray that Paterson will be an inspiration for other cities and ultimately for this nation. Thank you. Weldon McWilliams, W-E-L-D-O-N, McWilliams, M-C-W-I-L-L-I-A-M-S. Pastor of Christ Temple Baptist Church, Paterson, New Jersey. Thank you.
That was good. David Kim, please come forward. Thank you, Pastor.
Just want to thank everybody here that participated, that really put in the time and the efforts to make something like this happen. I think it's amazing that you have an innovative approach like this really take off and take hold. I think it's amazing that we're able to take on things like financial inequities, like health inequities through a process like this. Really excited and encouraged by the data that's already come out, and really excited to see what the community believes the impact of this will be. So again, thank you so much everybody here for even the participation and the hard work that it took to get it even to this point. I'm really excited to see what comes of this.
Again, I want to acknowledge Dassel Tilos, who's been a part of this program. She doesn't want to say a few words. Her work speaks for her, and she's helped us facilitate town hall meetings, and they've gone well. We've had, I think, almost 300 participants total in all the town hall meetings, and we have another one coming up next Thursday.
Next Wednesday.
Oh, next Wednesday. I thought it was the 25th. Okay. So next Wednesday, we'll have another town hall meeting to explain the application process and, of course, to elaborate even further on what this program is all about. See, we've just been joined. She's fashionably late, as always, but at least she's consistent. Former Mayor and 4th Ward Councilman Ruby N. Cotton. Come on. With her Biden-Harris mask on. Go get him.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to say good morning to everyone. You know, I was really trying to get here on time, Mayor. You know I do. But I think this of Paterson is greatly appreciated. I wish it could be more, but we have to start somewhere. And I know that eventually we're going to get more and more, and it's going to be really good for us, because I'm getting a lot of calls, and I know Councilwoman Mims is, about the program. So I'm happy that we're able to do this. You know, I say to people, don't criticize. Whatever we can get, let's get what we can get. And that's going to help us, help the city, and that's how we need to look at it. So for all you out there watching, please, please, please apply. You never know where it's going to take you. You never know. You could be one of the blessed ones. Yeah. And, you know, we're all blessed, but sometimes, you know, you got to say what's in your heart, and we know that this is so badly needed. Throughout not only Paterson, but throughout the country, everyone is feeling the crunch and the pain of the pandemic, and we need to do as much as we can to help everyone as much as we can. Thank you. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Is that Tony Yates that just snuck in there? Okay. Her and Ruby rode together. I think that's what happened there. Earlier, our Chief Data Officer alluded to the Financial Empowerment Center, and I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge our business administrator, who is the champion of the Financial Empowerment Center. So Kathleen Margaret Long, thank you very much. And the FEC working in concert with MGI. And I think it's important to note that with the Financial Empowerment Center, where we can provide residents with free one-on-one financial counseling, help them reduce their debt, repair their credit scores, get banked if they don't have any accounts, this will help any of these 110 participants, because now you have a new stream of income, and money management is going to be so important. When I talked about spending it on priorities like the groceries, medicine, a flat tire, the Financial Empowerment Center is something that individuals who have been selected as a part of this MGI program, Mayors for a Guaranteed Income, they should leverage that. So that's why we may even have some slots for people to just go in, and we'll just schedule for them to go in and get some money management lessons, because we don't want people to squander this money, and we want to build on this program so that, like Pastor McWilliams said, Mayor Tubbs is an inspiration for us. We want to be inspiration for other people so that other municipalities across the country, because we're one of only 2 in the state, Newark is the other, that is launching a program of this magnitude. And having said that, again, I want to encourage people to apply. Not you, Tony, you make far too much money. But I want you to apply. If you feel as if you need this program, it's here for you. So you can go to patersonnj.gov/guaranteed income starting April 12th through April 30th. You're eligible, it's available, apply, and we wish you well. Thank you very much. Tony, you have a question?
Yeah, what disqualifies anyone?
Right. If you're not a Paterson resident, you shouldn't apply. If you're under 18 years old, you can't apply. And if you make more than $30,000 as a single individual, you can't apply. And if you're making more than $88,000 as a family, you can't apply either. But outside of that, it's pretty wide open. It's wide open. I mean, if you think about this, the median income in Paterson is about $31,000, unless it went up a little harsher.
So it's 36.
36, it did go up. Okay, 36,000. So there's some people that are not eligible, but there's a considerable number of people who will be.
Mr. Mayor, 110 families, when will you look to expand this program?
Yeah, all right, fair question. One thing we did not touch upon, where's the money coming from, right? So there's a philanthropist in Jack Dorsey, the Twitter CEO, has donated $500,000 to this effort. So when you were talking about the $538,000, 580, there's a vast majority of the money coming from him, and there's other people that are stepping forward to donate as well, but he is the major contributor to this effort. So what we feel is so Jack Dorsey is the CEO, Twitter, he's the Twitter CEO. So we're talking about a heavyweight that's weighing in and helping out Paterson and Paterson residents. But it's 110 now, it's a pilot program. If we see that it's working, we can expand and then we continue to raise money. And then we can get creative in finding other ways to fund the program. But for now, as we launch this as a pilot program for 1 year, we want to see how it works. Like in Stockton, they saw the success. Based on the data, we expand. And then we start making phone calls to anyone else. And who knows, Jack Dorsey might want to double down. And then Mark Zuckerberg might want to do something. What do you think? No, Jack Dorsey didn't come up with this program. Actually, Mayor Tubbs, you missed him earlier. He called in. He's the founder of the program. But one of the inspirations was the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., because in his 4th and final book entitled, Where Do We Go From Here? Chaos or Community? He said that there should be a guaranteed income for individuals that are in need. So he drew inspiration from Dr. King, and we drew inspiration from Mayor Michael Tubbs.
And then how did Mr. Dorsey get involved? Did you guys make a phone call and say, hey, this is a great program?
Well, we didn't make the phone call. I believe he took notice of what was happening in some municipalities like Stockton, and he said, this is something worthwhile as far as legitimately providing assistance to individuals in need. And so we're not looking to gift horse in the mouth. We really appreciate what Mr. Dorsey has done, and if he wants to double down and give $1 million next year, we'll graciously accept it. Danny Backus. So the application starts April 12th through the 30th. Now we're looking to have everyone selected by sometime in May, but onboarding, or meaning everyone will receive that assistance by June. Now the question I'm anticipating right now, do people get cash? Do people get a check? They don't. You get a debit card. And then we can track your spending. So it's randomly selected, lottery-based. The University of Pennsylvania has a guaranteed income center, so they'll handle that. It's far removed from City Hall. We don't need that controversy. Because quite frankly, politically, it wouldn't be wise, right? Because you're only picking 110 out of maybe 100,000 people that may be eligible. So you're going to have 100,000 people who apply, whom I'm not sure they're all going to apply, but they'll be upset with us. But we're not looking to make anybody upset. We're just looking to uplift. Any other questions? Danny Backus, St. Patrick's Day, good? Okay. Thank you, everyone. Dan, no? Okay. Thank you, everyone. Let's get it going. Get those applications. The applications, you get it from our website, patersonnj.gov/guaranteed income.
But I can send you my email.
Thank you, sir.